Today's video is sponsored to you by EA. We're going to give you 10 must-know tips for beginners in College Football 25 Ultimate Team. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another College Football 25 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, I got 10 tips for all of you beginners to Ultimate Team. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Now, the first tip is going to be the game option or settings specific to Ultimate Team and gameplay. So when you're in the MUP menu, all you have to do is press down on your left analog stick, and the very first setting is going to be specific to Ultimate Team, and it's the default star difficulty. So this is in relation to solo challenges. Often there are solos that have more than one star, and the more stars that you earn in solo challenges, the better the rewards. So my advice to you, because by default it's turned off, you want to set your default star difficulty to on. Whether it's solo season, solo battle, solo challenges, there's a couple other options that can get through these game modes faster if your main goal is to make coins from them. So in event type, you can put quick presentation on. This will help you get through some of the cutscenes a little bit faster. I always recommend accelerated clock turned on. By default, it's going to be turned off. And then you can also change the setting on where that play clock stops when accelerated clock is on. So if 10 seconds is too little of a time for you, you can adjust it to maybe 15 or 11 or 12. You get the point. So those four settings are specific to Ultimate Team. If this is going to be your primary game mode, you'll probably want to adjust some of these other settings for in-game when you're playing online specifically. So you have your coin toss options. This is all simulated, so you don't ever see it when you're loading into a game. But if you prefer to kick the ball first off every game, you want to set that. Doesn't guarantee that you're always going to be kicking, but it gives you a higher probability. And then if you lose that coin toss, you do have the option to choose either going against the win or win the win. Kicking is definitely difficult in College Football 25, and there's two different options that you have. The default one is tap and hold, which means when your kick meter is moving from left to right and you're trying to get it in the middle for the perfect accuracy, after you press that, you want to hold it down. The second stage of that kick is the power meter that goes to the up arrow, and then at that point, you want to release the button when you're done with your power setting. And I'm assuming this is the most common kicking control scheme that people are using. If you rather press the button 2 times, so once for the accuracy and once for the power, this would be similar to prior Madden titles. You're still going to have that same interface, but instead of pressing the button once, tap and tap is going to allow you to press that button twice. You might want to try that one out to see if you're more comfortable with it. Some of these other settings are really going to be based on your specific preference. Camera toggle is one that annoys me, so I always turn it off. It allows you to change the camera view by pressing the up or down buttons on your D-pad, but a lot of times when I'm trying to do quick adjustments, it will take that input as a camera toggle rather than something else. Or if I'm just trying to do too much too fast, maybe I mess up on my part. So I like to have camera toggle turned off, because the worst thing to me is setting a different camera and then my opponent snaps the ball and now I'm running around, not with the picture or screen that I'm used to. So I always have that one turned off. There are 4 different passing types in College Football 25. I prefer placement and accuracy, which is basically freeform passing from Madden 24 and Madden 23. You can go with classic passing, which is very, very general. Revamp passing is the new passing system for college football. A lot of people enjoy this one as well. So go through all 4 of the options here. Placement being the last one. If you look over to the right, there's different descriptions for each type. See which one works best for you. Just because I use placement and accuracy doesn't mean that you should. This is just my comfort zone. You might find more comfort in using one of the other 3 settings. There are a bunch of different game modes that you can play within Ultimate Team, and we're going to have a video breaking down every one of them in more specifics. But whether you're an offline player or an online player, there's a lot of opportunity to make coins to build your Ultimate Team through these different game modes. So if you're an offline player, you're primarily going to be in the solo challenges, which usually provide you a combination of coins, packs, and player rewards. throughout the year, as we get more programs that come out, more solo challenges will be added. And if you go into any solo challenge and take a look, when we were going over the settings, this is what I meant by the default star setting. I like to play all of my solos on the highest star rating because those ratings will dictate how many stars you earn, and how many stars you earn will dictate how many coins or how many rewards you get. So for example, if you scroll through the milestone rewards of this conference story solo sequence, you need 10 stars to get 1,000 coins, 20 stars to get another 1,500. So that's why it's very important to max out all of the stars on everything, every single solo challenge. So that's one way to not play against another human and earn some coin and have fun in this game mode. The main way that I would go about doing it is solo seasons, and there's 3 different difficulties based on your comfortability. It's not a terrible idea, especially if you're new to the game, to start out at the freshman level and work your way up to All-American as your team gets better. Now, playing through this game mode, you can see the rewards down here towards the bottom left under rewards and divisions. Playing on a higher difficulty, winning 5 games before you lose 3 games in the All-American season is going to net you 5,500 coins, versus if you do it in the freshman season, you're going to get yourself 4,500 coins. Not a huge difference, and you can earn more rewards once you make the playoffs, and making the playoffs is winning 5 games before you lose 3, and if you are able to get to the national championship and not lose a playoff game, there's more rewards in the playoffs and for winning the championship in the forms of more coins and packs. Definitely check out solo seasons. If you're more of a competitive player, you want to jump online and play head-to-head, there's a squads regular season, which is a 3v3 game mode, and then you have a 1v1 head-to-head game mode in regular seasons. Now, this says playoffs for my screen because I'm currently in the playoffs, and I'll remove the face cam momentarily here so you can look at the bottom right. You can see my record for my first season. Because we were able to win 5 games before we lost 3, we made it to the playoffs. We've actually won 2 playoff games, and we're heading into the semifinals. Just like solo seasons, you can go down to rewards and divisions and see the amount of coins that you're going to earn, whether it's in the regular season, the playoffs, or winning a championship. Also, there's different divisions, so based on how many times you win or how good you are, you will move up in divisions, and once you get up to the highest division, the coin rewards and the pack rewards are going to increase. Look throughout the season for the champs and gauntlet game modes. Those will be taking place from a week-to-week basis and a weekend-to-weekend basis. Again, we'll do a deeper dive on all of the game modes available in an upcoming video, so be on the lookout for that one. Field passes are a major component of College Football 25 Ultimate Team, and this is where you're also going to be able to earn a lot of free rewards with the ongoing content that comes out throughout the year. So there's going to be many more field passes added in here, but when you're in your live events tab, you can hold down your L2 button or your left trigger button on Xbox to view the various field passes. Currently at this moment, we have the orientation field pass and the season 1 field pass. The season 1 field pass is a longer one that's going to give you a good amount of rewards, and when you want to view any rewards within the field pass, you're simply going to hit triangle on PlayStation or Y on Xbox. Everything that you can earn will be found at the bottom of the screen, and you can scroll left and right with the D-pad to see those various rewards and the amount of XP or the level that you need to hit to earn those rewards. As you scroll through them, you can see there's coins, there's packs. If you get to level 50, you earn this Harold Perkins Jr. item, an 87 overall player that you can put into your lineup to increase your team. Now, everything that you need to do to earn XP is going to be found to the right of that. Simply just playing the game isn't going to guarantee you XP. You have specific objectives that you need to knock out. You have your daily objectives that reset every 24 hours. If you miss out on any of these on a daily basis, there's no way in getting them back. And if you go to any objective, you can scroll through them to see what they are and the amount of XP that you earn. There's objectives specific to season 1. More could be added onto this list. There's also program objectives. In case you missed it, conference stories, new programs that are in College Ultimate Team, they're going to come along with objectives, often in relation to that specific promo, that will also earn you XP within this reward path for the Season 1 Field Pass. There's an orientation field pass that came out on day one as well, and you can go through and see the various rewards. This one a much lower level, not as many rewards, doesn't take as long to complete, and like I said, look throughout the entire year for more of these field passes to be added. Going over to the My Team tab is where you can adjust your lineup and build your ultimate team. This is a screen that you're going to be often in now. We do have an upcoming video that breaks down all of the ins and outs of creating your lineup, setting your lineup, activating abilities and chemistries, so be on the lookout for that one. Just want to give you a brief overview. You can see your offense, you have depth chart players, and with the new wear and tear system, these could be very, very important players on your team. You can use your R1 or L1 buttons to tab right or left to see your defense. You have your special team set up. The specialist screen is really, really important for your play style and some of the formations that you might be running. Again, make sure you check out that deeper dive that's upcoming on how to adjust all of your lineup. Your strategy screen is where you're going to select the specific playbooks that you want to use for your ultimate team. And there's also offensive and defensive strategy items that can boost attributes on all of the items within your team. And finally, we have the visuals tab, which sets your uniforms, your head coach, and the home stadium that you play in. If you use your directional pad and go over to the right, you can see all of the different chemistries, whether it's a scheme chem or a team chem that you have. These provide additional boost to the items on your team if you meet the requirements. You can also put abilities on your players. Each ability costs a certain number of ability points, and you're allowed 8 ability points on offense and 8 ability points on defense. Abilities are a great way to make players on your team stand out and play much better than others. One way to upgrade your team with new players or items is the auction house. If you look in the upper right part of your screen, you have all of your currency. So going from right to left, you have your team overall. Next to that is going to be your current season level. So we are in that season 1 field pass that I showed you earlier. When that one expires, everybody's level will reset back to 1. We'll have a brand new field pass that we can grind through to earn more free rewards, and that level will gradually go up until the following season and the season after that. The third item from right to left is your currency. These are your coins. This is the main currency for Ultimate Team. This is how you're going to purchase items to put onto your team from the auction house. You have points next to that. Points are a purchasable currency that you can buy with real money and often use those points for different pack offers that come out throughout the week. And then the furthest item to the left is going to be training, which we will talk about in a moment. There's various ways that you can use that, whether it's adding abilities, upgrading cards, and there's various packs in the store that take training as well. So if you want to use the auction house to purchase any type of item with your coin currency, there's filters that you can find to the left. These are all items that various members within the Ultimate Team community are selling, and you can go out and purchase them. You want to use your filters to look for a certain player. You're going to go to type and select players. You can also look for uniforms, playbooks. If you want to search by a specific position, you have that opportunity to do it as well. So if I want to get a brand new wide receiver, that would be one of the first selections that we can make. There is a search option where you can simply just type the player's name in. That's probably the most straightforward, but as the year goes on, some players will have multiple items. Those items will vary in overall, and if you go to your quality filter, you can look at the different tiers. You can also sort by overalls. So if I'm looking for a wide receiver in the 82 to 83 overall range, we could go ahead and use that filter. And now we can sort through and see all of the items that are in the game that meet those filters that people are selling on the auction house. You can see there's quite a few of this player here. If we wanted to purchase this Hudson Clement item, we would simply select it, and we can go ahead and choose buy now. There are ways to auction for items by placing bids. I wouldn't really recommend going this route, and be mindful of the amount of coins that you're purchasing a item for, because the price could always vary based on the number of that particular player's items being on the auction house and other factors. But you don't just always want to buy the first one you see. It's not a bad idea to wait and compare and wait and see if you can find something for a price maybe cheaper than you initially saw. But if I did want to go ahead and purchase this, I would select buy now. You get a confirmation screen. We would choose yes, and then this player would become available to put in our lineup like any other one that we own. When you're in the auction house, if you look to your upper left, there's 4 different tabs that you can go through. To the immediate right of the auction house is the catalog. This is going to look extremely similar to the auction house. The biggest difference is that the catalog is filled with every item that's in the game versus the auction house is going to be every item that somebody has listed for sale right now. But you have your same filter filters here over to the left, you can see my wide receiver and my quality of 82 to 83 overall filter has saved. When we tabbed over to the catalog, if you ever want to quickly reset this, you can press down on your left analog stick and that will reset the filter. This allows you to see every single item in the game. So if I want to go through and look at all of the players that are from Georgia in the game currently, we can do that. It now allows us to not only search through each player, but once we find one that maybe we are interested in, it's going to tell you the ways that you can obtain this item. There are situations where not only can you get one from the auction house, but there may be a set of solo challenges or a field pass reward that will give you the alternative options, and you can go right to the auction house from this screen to find that particular item. You can see there's 3 of them up here for 80,000 coins each. You can also tab over to see the player's attributes. This is obviously important if you're trying to make upgrades for your team. You have that ability to see the attributes on any item. And then the upgrade tab is very nice because this allows you to see things that you can't see normally without owning the card. And that's going to be specifically any type of abilities or chemistries that you might be able to put on the team. Each player has a scheme chemistry, and in this case his is option, and a team chemistry, which by default is going to be Georgia, but you can actually assign any team chemistry to any item in the game. The cost of it is 15,000 coins. When we release our deep dive video on roster management, abilities, setting your lineup, things like that, scheme and team chemistries, we'll go into this in a lot more detail, so again, stay tuned for that video. Items with this default looking art are considered core items, and you do have program filters in which you can look for these types of things or the differences. Now, we have a few programs that are already available in the game right now between the Season 1 Field Pass and the Conference Stories of the Week program. Those items, or these items I should say, are going to look a little bit different when you go to the upgrade tab, because they actually not only have the scheme and team chemistries, but they also have abilities. We mentioned it earlier in the video. Abilities allow you to assign specific things to specific players that maybe will increase their play level on the field. The cost of that is ability points, and to unlock these certain abilities, you're going to need training to do so. The catalog is great because you can see a lot of this information without having to actually unlock the ability buckets. You might notice here that there's a lock icon on these, same with this team chemistry one. In order to unlock these, when you do own the item, is going to the first upgrade spot, and you can see it's a total cost of 5 training, which is the currency towards the upper right. The most straightforward way to get that training currency is quick selling an item. So if I go to any item in my binder, and we'll use Justin Jacobs as an example, I'm going to go ahead and select it, and you'll see towards the bottom we have a quick sell option. Quick selling this item would remove him from my inventory or my binder. We no longer have him, but in return we would get 120 training. We mentioned it earlier, you can use that training for various things, but most commonly people use it to upgrade items to put abilities on them. The amount of training that you get for an item is going to be based on their overall. So if we go up to an 81 overall, you're going to see that that training value is going to be 200 training for this Jeremiah Cooper. And also be aware of platinum or coin quick sell items. You can see the coin logo on towards the bottom right of these items here. Devin Moore, for example, he will not have a training quick sell value. This item will actually quick sell for coins instead of training. If you want to use that training currency to upgrade an item, you would select it from within your binder. It's going to look similar to when you select an item within the catalog. The one difference is that you have a stats tab. If this item has played games for you, you can see the stats that it has against the computer. You can see it in head-to-head. This Abdul Carter has 8 solo tackles. He has 1 tackle for loss. It's really cool to keep track of this stuff throughout the year to see which items perform the best for you. But if we go over that upgrade tab, you're still going to notice the locks here, and because we're not in the catalog, we can't see the information that's in here. We have to spend 5 of our training. We got 434. If you look in the upper right, we're going to spend 5 of our training to unlock this. And now you see these different ability buckets are available for us to take a look at. We can also change the team chemistry on this item if we want. Remember, it's going to cost you 15,000 coins to do so. So if I wanted to add an ability, there are going to be various buckets and abilities available to a player based on the program that they're from, the overall, the archetype that they have. Most of this information is found right on the front of the card. And when it comes to these abilities, you can read the description towards the bottom right on the right-hand side of the screen. They all do cost some type of training. So if we want to put Wrap Up Bronze Edition on here, it is going to cost us 30 training. We mentioned the ability point limit, 8 on offense, 8 on defense. This would cost me 2 of those 8 ability points on defense. If I wanted to activate this ability, we would go ahead and choose craft ability. And now that that's on here, we can go ahead and equip it to the item as well. And if you look at the bottom right of the card art, it now says abilities ×1. Now, if we ever wanted to remove that, we can get a portion of our training back by going back and selecting it. And there's a refund option here. It'll give you a disclaimer of how much you're going to get. So in this case, we spent 30 initially. We would get 15 back if we want to refund it. We're going to go ahead and keep it on this item for now. And just because you put an ability on an item like we just did here doesn't activate it within the game. You still have to go over to your lineup screen and activate it to the far right. Again, we have a video upcoming very soon that goes over all of this in detail. Whether we're on the My Items screen, which shows us everything that we own, the catalog, or even the auction house, all screens that we've taken a look at, you can also get over to item sets, which is going to have a very similar filter to everything that we've seen so far. Sets are things that you can complete to get new items from new promos. There's various things throughout the year that you'll see within this, but the basic or general idea of it is that you're trading in lower overall cards to obtain a higher overall card. And there's 2 ways that you can complete these. There's a really fast way and a little bit more of a detailed way, but we'll show you this 70 to 71 overall player pack. For example, if we go into it, we see the description. We're trading in 468 overall items or players to receive 170 to 71 overall player. It will be at random. And like I said, there's a couple different ways you can go about this. If you just simply from this screen want to press square on PlayStation or X on Xbox, it will add in the 4 suggested items into this set right now and complete it. If you want to add these items one by one, I'm a big Syracuse fan. I don't want to add the Justin Barron and the Jaden Bellamy items to this set. I can go ahead and select it with X on PlayStation or A on Xbox, and it will give me all of the items that fall into that criteria of this set that can go into it for me to select from. So if I want to put this guy in here, I will add him to the set, and you can do these cards individually. If you ever add an item or 2 accidentally, you can always remove it as well by selecting the item again and then choosing remove from set. Again, if I want to hit square or X on Xbox, we can add it very quickly, but you always want to pay attention to this so you don't put an item into a set that you didn't mean to do so. And you can also hit the square or X button directly from this screen. You can see that there's a redeem option. All of the requirements for any of these sets I already have. 476 to 77 overall items for 178 to 79. The quickest way I could do it is hitting square here. It shows you the 4 items that are going to be into this one. You can tab over to see where these other items can go. In this case, there's no other sets that these items could go into, and we would simply select redeem, and now we're going to get our reward pack back. This is what it would look like once we're done. It's all at random. You don't have to do this, but it is a possibility. And as I said, throughout the year, we will get tons of sets added in here because it's so early. There's only a few in there, but normally every time we get a brand new program, more options will be added in. There you have it. 10 tips for all of you college football 25 Ultimate Team beginners. If you got any additional questions, leave it down below in the comment section, and we'll do our best to answer it in a future video. And all throughout the entire year, we'll have several other videos going over information that you need to know about college Ultimate Team. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out.